Hi, it's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a tour of my food storage pantry. This has a lot of my backstock of items as well as a lot of my longer term food storage. If you watched my video from last week, I started showing you a tour of my freezers and my working pantry that I use day in, day out. And that video was getting a little bit long. So I decided to keep this video of my food storage closet as its own separate video. So let's go to the tour and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so up here, as you come up to the top of my stairs, I have these two big closets. I have one over there and one over here. This one over here has my school supplies in it, but this one we have converted to use as a food storage closet since our pantry is a lot smaller than our old one downstairs. I wanted to prioritize having a space to store and organize all of our like of food. Inside of here, we put and added one of these heavy duty metal shelves. We didn't use all 6 shelves of it because it wouldn't fit, because up here at the top we have a clothing bar and an additional shelf up there. So it wasn't tall enough to do that. So we just used the 4 shelves, and that has been very helpful already. So that's kind of where we have most of our food storage stuff. And then over here we have some of our longer term things. So let's take a closer look at some of them. So up here at the very, very top, it's kind of dark and hard to see, but this is where I have my canning stuff. So over here are all of my empty jars. So when my jars get empty, I put them up here so that they're ready for the next canning season. I have some canning lids right here. This basket has accessories for some of my mixers, specifically my Nutrimil mixer. It has an ice cream maker attachment, a waffle cone, iron, as well as some other accessories that I have in there. Over here I have my food saver. I haven't used this yet, but I got it when it was on sale at Costco, and then we were moving, so I just figured I would just leave it in its box and deal with it after we moved. So hopefully this summer at some point I can work on learning how to use this and finding other ways to preserve some of my food. Up at the top, again, I have more canning things, and this green basket has my canning rings and additional canning lids. Over here, again, it's hard to see because it's black and it's very dark in here, but I have 2 canners as well as my big stock pot in here for canning. So over here, if we look at my shelves, this top shelf has mostly snacks and a few sauces, as well as a little bit of backstock longer term food storage as well. So in these ice cream buckets, you probably remember from my last house, these 3-gallon ice cream buckets. One has oats, one has bags of powdered sugar, one has bags of brown sugar. I don't need these too often. That's why they're kind of back here in the corner, just because I don't need to access them all the time. And then I've also started stacking some additional extra snacks. So I have a bag of pretzels, an extra bag of rice cakes, some oyster crackers for when it's soup season again. I have a big box of applesauce pouches. For my girls, I'll probably take those down in the next little bit so that they can have some applesauce pouches. They haven't had those in a while. Again, more snacks. I have the second bag from our Costco box of Cheez-Its up here. Another thing of rice cakes. I can put those up there with my other ones. I have a muffin mix over here. This one I can actually take downstairs since I have room in my pantry for it down there. And this is where I have a lot of our crackers as well. So I have a couple of the flip sides, a thing of wheat thins. Also over here I have boxes of Teddy Grahams from when they were on sale a few weeks ago. Behind that I have our big boxes of cereal. On top of those I have little boxes of oatmeal, so kind of my breakfasty and snacky things are back there. Here's a random bag of extra marshmallows we have. Here's a bag of rice that needs to go back in our rice bucket. Over here, I bought the big 4-pack of graham crackers when they were on sale at Costco because we only had one box left. So those are right here. Kind of behind that, I have a little bit more smaller boxes of cereal over here. And then up here on top, I have 2 boxes of fruit snacks that I got on clearance as well. And then back here in the back, I have my 2 big containers of 2 different flavors of hot cocoa. When it gets to be colder weather, and we switch over to drinking that more often, I will fill up 2 mason jars one with the peppermint candy cane hot cocoa and one with just regular. And I'll just keep those out on my counter or in my pantry for us to use, and then keep the big canisters of it back up here. This is my little sauce section. Barbecue, Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce was on sale a few weeks ago, so I stocked up on that. And then we have, again, just kind of one of some of our regular sauces. So we have like a Chick-fil-A sauce. We have a backup of some liquid smoke, a Red Robin campfire sauce, and a ketchup. And then down one row has a few of my canned goods. So this is where I will pull from to restock my main pantry. So I have peanut butter over here, which I do need another one of those downstairs. I have an everything but the bagel seasoning. I just have a small container of this downstairs, and then I refill based on this. And then here I have pineapple. I have a backstock of some avocado spray, and then some backstock of evaporated milk. Over here, up on top, I have different cream of soups that are different flavors. So I have like cream of mushroom, potato, like a condensed cheddar cheese. I have a cream of celery up there too, I think. And then down here, this is all cream of chicken in these flats. I kept these flats just so that they'd be easier to store. So I didn't have to buy the rotating racks. I got rid of the rotating racks from my old pantry because I didn't think that there'd be room for them here. And I'm glad that right now I got rid of them. We'll see how I like this system. And then continuing on, we have another thing of tomato soup that can also probably go downstairs. I got this big jar of green chilies from Costco when it was on sale a few weeks ago. This was much more cost effective than buying just like the little teeny tiny cans, and we use green chilies in a lot of things. So I figure once I open this, we'll try to make as many like roasted green chili recipes as I can think of. And then whatever we don't use before this goes bad, I'll just freeze in smaller portions. So that way I have them in my freezer as well. And I'll see how that goes. That being said, I do still have a few cans of just diced green chilies right here. And then up here, this top row has more additional of the small cans of tomato sauce, green enchilada sauce, and then more beans. I believe these are all white beans up here. And then down here on the bottom, I have different kinds of petite diced tomatoes. I have a Southwest style, and this comes with like the chili peppers and lime juice, and looks like cilantro in there. So it looks like I have 2 rows of those, and then I have another row of petite diced tomatoes. Let's move these so you can see them. I have another row of petite diced tomatoes that comes with roasted garlic and onion already. Since most of the things I am cooking with are either like a Southwest kind of spicier style or like an Italian based, either one of these are fine. And since they were the same cost as just regular diced tomatoes, I decided to get the ones with the extra flavoring so that my money could go a little bit farther. I have a backup of our favorite chicken bouillon powder. Over here, I have some cans of tomato paste. I don't use that a ton, but it's nice to have. And then behind that, I have one more sweetened condensed milk, and then quite a few cans of pumpkin that go behind that. As we come over here, this is more of like my backstock of baking things and baking mixes. Again, I don't access these all the time, which is why they're like back here in the corner, just because I don't need to be accessing them as often. I have some backstock of baking powder, shredded coconut, cocoa powder, and then back here, those orange boxes are baking soda. Over here is a bunch of backstock of salt. This blue basket has different kinds of baking chips. So I have mini chocolate chips, butterscotch chips. I also have boxes of pudding mix. I use this in our family's favorite chocolate bundt cake recipe. So I always make sure that I have a couple of these on hand so that we can make that cake whenever we want to. And then behind that, I have this big box from Costco of the Ghirardelli brownie mixes. I think I've only used one from there. So once I finish up my brownie mixes downstairs, I'll take this big box down, or a few of the bags with the directions written on it. And then over here, these are all my cake mixes. So I have these 3, and I have my oldest ones that need to be used first are over here towards the front. And then they go all the way back this way, and then all the way back as deep as this brownie container as well for cake mixes. And I always just like to keep a big variety of flavors on hand so that I can either make different kinds of cakes. I also use them as bases for cookies or muffin recipes. You can just use cake mixes for a lot of things and make a lot of things with them. So I always like to keep those on hand when they go and stock up on them when they go on sale. Coming down to my next row, this is like my bottled home canned row. Over here I have 3 rows actually of home canned applesauce. I have 2 rows of quarts actually. And then over here I have a handful, looks like 3 pints of applesauce, as well as 2 additional quarts. Over here we just have 1 row of quarts of pears left. It looks like that's about 4. And then over here I have 2 partial rows of peaches. So I have 6 quarts of those, as well as an additional pint. I really love these for peach cobbler. And that's mostly what I use them for. My girls also really like to eat them just out of the can for fruit. And then over here, these are home canned banana peppers. I have quite a few pints and half pints of those. Those were just an experiment to see how my husband liked them, and he likes them so far. So that was good, but we don't need to can those this year for sure, because we have plenty that will last us quite a few years. And then we have only 1 jar left of our salsa verde. This was my favorite thing that I canned last year. And we're working on trying to grow some tomatillos so that I can make more of it this fall. The last fall I made 2 different batches so I could figure out which recipe we liked. And I made small batches of them. But we know which recipe we like the best now. And we definitely will be making a lot more of that because we go through this quite a bit. And then over here, we have our jarred Alfredo sauce, as well as jarred pasta sauce. Over here, kind of behind my Alfredo sauce, I have a couple of jars of home canned jalapeno jelly that my great aunt canned and gave to my husband because he loves it. And then we have our 4 cans of canned chicken. This is something I do want to stock back up on. I'm just waiting for a little bit more wiggle room in my budget because it's not a need right now, but I do like to have probably about double this amount on hand just for emergencies, and also just when I forget to thaw the chicken or we don't have any frozen rotisserie chicken. This helps make dinners really quick and easy. And then over here, these are number 10 cans of food storage that are sealed with oxygen absorbers, and they can last up to 30 years. So I have a variety of things like rice and wheat and powdered milk and just other things like that are more long-term food storage. Again, I don't really need to crack into those. They're just more for long-term emergency situations that I'm not planning on using anytime soon. I probably won't be using those for another, I don't know, probably 10 or 20 years because I recently bought them. Or if, I run out of something and need to use them, they are there for me to use. Same thing down here. I have 2 additional boxes. I have one of hard wheat, and then another variety box down here that has all kinds of random things in it. And then so the rest of this bottom shelf over here has my backstock of pasta. As you saw from my pantry downstairs, this is where I will come up and restock my pasta baskets. It's just from here, and I have all different shapes and sizes. And then over here, I also am keeping my backstock of my Ziploc bags. So I have all different kinds of sizes. I have extra plastic wrap, extra foil, more bags over there. And then behind this set of bags, I do have a couple of boxes of ramen as well. So once we eat through the ramen that's downstairs, I can pull a box of this out and take that downstairs as well. Also kind of in this closet down here on the floor, since this shelf is raised a little bit, there were a few things that I kept in my pantry at my old house that I just don't have room for downstairs anymore. They're things that I like to have, I just don't use all the time. So the first thing are just these plastic lids that go on top of my my cookie sheets. So I have 2 for my big ones and 1 for my half sheet pan size. I also have over here, this is a bag that holds a 9x13 casserole dish. So I use that if I'm taking a casserole or if I'm taking like a 9x13 dish somewhere, just to help keep it safe and protected. And then this also helps keep it cold if it's a cold dish or warm if it's a warm dish. And then over here, I have a bag for my crock pot. Again, same thing. It's insulated, helps keep things warm as I'm transporting them to different places. And then this side of my pantry doesn't have any shelving, mostly because I was using it to store my buckets, and then I had a little bit of extra room. So this is kind of just spillover of random things that don't have good homes yet. So over here, this is where I keep the rest of my Dr. Pepper. And then when I finish my case downstairs, I'll grab one of these, take it downstairs so that I can refill my fridge from the pantry downstairs. Apple juice was also on sale a few weeks ago, so I got a couple of those to stock up for my daughter. She has to take some medicine, and the doctor suggested taking it with some apple juice, so we have that on hand. Over here, Sun Chips were on sale, so I got at Costco, so I got a big box of those for camping trips or picnics or whatever kind of things that we're out and doing. I keep them up here so that way we're not eating them as like an everyday snack. That way when I'm specifically packing for a specific picnic or camping trip or whatever, I can come up here or send Lucy up here to get a few of the flavors that we want. Down here at the bottom, I know it's hard to see, I have two big bottles of vinegar. Also behind that, I have a big thing of sugar. I'm just waiting for one of my sugar buckets to open up before I can empty that bag of sugar into my 5-gallon buckets. And then back here, these 5-gallon buckets, this one is oats, and then I have one that has rice in it and one that has sugar in it. And then over here, this is a bucket of wheat berries. I need to get that one and bring it downstairs. And then this one with the green lid is also wheat berries. And then underneath that, I have an additional bucket of wheat berries. That last bucket is completely sealed and has oxygen absorbers. And so that one, again, will last for 30 years. So that one I'm keeping more for longer term food storage. When it's getting closer to it not being good anymore, that's when I will open it and actually start working through it. And then also up here, I have a big bag of pancake mix that I can refill my canister downstairs with. And then these two boxes, this one right here is like our camping box. So in here, when we go camping, that's where we keep our food. And I just keep all of our camping things in here. So I have like graham crackers for s'mores, chocolate, marshmallows, cookies we like, a small thing of oil to make breakfasts with, a small thing of syrup for when we do pancakes. So here's our camping box. And then up here, this just has additional like camping snacks in it. So we have a box of Cliff Bars in it. And then we also have some little cans of Pringles. Anyway, so I fill up our camping box with Cliff Bars up here, Pringles, possibly some bag chips from down there as well. So that's everything that I have in my food storage closet. Again, these are things that I'm constantly working through, bringing them from upstairs to downstairs to be able to use for meals. And it's just really nice to be able to have these things on hand, so I don't have to go to the store every single time I need one of those items. I have lots of things accessible to me, which make it much easier to meal plan, make meals, and to do my once a month grocery shopping. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.